cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's Mike Matthews, and we are just about going to be having a 3-day week for a lot of you. And for those of you who don't, Mike's Daily Podcast. Like maybe yours truly, it's going to be working all 5 days this week, but that's not my problem or your problem. That's not yours is what you hope you have a good time and la 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 la. Here's something that rhymes with something that I said earlier. Hey, thanks for listening to this show and this song called Mike's Daily Podcast. I'm all excited about this week because what I'm going to do is relax, I think, or Mike's not, because I'm going to get together with some friends. Podcast. And we all need to be with friends. Yeah! Because sometimes we get a little too self-involved, if you know what I'm saying. Because I have had that happen in my life where I was a little bit closed off. Even though I was seeing people every day, there was like a wall around me. It's so simple to do that. You can be in the middle of a crowded room and be alone. A crowded place, a crowded shopping center, a crowded fair. We have the fair going on at the Alameda County Fair, and I've gone there and felt completely alone because you don't feel you put your own barriers up. Barriers. So there's apparently a barrier between South Korea and North Korea that our president just said, screw it. I'll go over and talk to the guy that's the head of the North Korea thing, and he's like killing people over on his side, and he wants to make a nuclear bomb that'll destroy us. But whatever, I'm just going to go over and say hi. And ironically, today, before I even knew that story, I was watching C-SPAN, and this history professor out of Lafayette, Louisiana, talking about how Chamberlain from England went over to talk to Hitler and how the two of them got along. And the guy from...
And here's today's podcast picture.
Yeah, I think it was Chamberlain. Because Hitler ran up to him and said, "Oh, you shouldn't have flown all the way over here. You're older. I should have flown over to England to see you." That, as far as I know, that never happened. That somebody proved me wrong. 336 Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6 as in Mike Matthews Daily. But look, here's the thing: is this show has gotten 0% political. And my friend Kevin will laugh and laugh and laugh because he knows I got really political for a while. And he laughed at that. And I think he may have even agreed at one point. But the thing is that after that last election, where I saw that Americans, Basil, my dog is an American, I think. I don't know. I don't see any flags in his doghouse. Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha. American flags? No, I think he's happy to live in this country, the land of the free, where he can be a free dog. But here's the thing: is the last election showed me that Americans want disruptors. Oh, but Mike, voting for a woman would have been a total disruption. Hillary, to many, was not a disruptor at all because she was so in the mold of, Bill's wife. She was Obama's Secretary of State, wasn't it? And was, she was just in the system. She was very the part of the government that seemed to be, we'd gotten so tired of for a lot of Americans. And so they wanted a guy who they saw on TV all the time firing people. That would be it. That would be the guy. That would do the job. And I think Americans want disruptors. That's why I don't think exactly the Joe Biden thing is going to fly next year for the elections. It's just not. He's too much of that same. It's the same Hillary thing all over again. Maybe. And I don't think Bernie is anymore. He was the disruptor. And I said things like, oh, he can't get elected. He's going to do the Ralph Nader thing to the vote and all that. And, well, in the end, he threw his support behind Hillary, and we know what happened. But anyway, I think Cafe Anyway, Americans like disruptors. That's what we are. We love to disrupt.
Anyway.
Or we don't like the same thing. A lot of us do. We like the status quo, but a lot of others are no. This is why I go to an election. I get my tuchus out of the house and I go down and I vote. It's because I want change. Vote for change. So it's very interesting, though, that I heard about the former British Prime Minister, but just before Winston Churchill, that guy actually went and saw Hitler and was buddy with him. But then later saw what Hitler was doing and said, wait, no, stop, wait, huh? And then Chamberlain was out, and Winston Churchill came in, and thankfully we won World War II. Did you know that? We did that. At any rate, a place that created a lot of the weaponry that we needed for World War II, and a lot of that weaponry done by women. I'm talking about in Richmond. The Rosie the Riveter factory is not exactly in this picture, but it is, in the background somewhere. I know. I'm facing somewhere in that direction. I was very close to it. In fact, I walked to it that day. That was the only day I think I've been there. Yeah, I have not been there since. I walked my dog, Basil the Boxer, who you aforementioned boxer barked for you a little bit earlier. And yeah, we walked over there, and they were having some kind of I think it was around, I guess must have been like the springtime art and craft fair that they do there, and they do one in the fall. At any rate, this picture is from 3 years ago. And Basil the Boxer and I walked all the way from Point Isabel to the Richmond Marina. And sadly, Basil can't do that walk now. But he did have a fun time yesterday. We got actually kind of close to that area. We drove past there on our way to Hercules. And I got some nice pictures of Hercules, but they haven't been uploaded to the thing that I used for the thing to make the podcast picture. But you can see the Richmond Marina picture from 3 years ago, a lovely picture. And for all the nasty things that get said about Richmond, this is a nice little area. And so you can see that at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And a lot of history to that. And it also reminds me of summer and summertime and living's easy. And that Lana Del Rey song is not called Summertime. It's called Doin' Time. It's a cover of that Sublime song, as you know. And the song, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast. I'm in Podcastro Valley 10 today, as we were also in Podcastro Valley 10 yesterday. That song is doing very well. All right, so I guess what I'm saying is you should go out and see friends and be with them and I guess Lana Del Rey, when she does that song in concert, she has a couple of her female friends that can dance really well, come out there and do this sort of seductive dance on stage to that sultry, seductive song. But would I ever pay to go see a Lana Del Rey concert? Probably not. That's not my thing. And I don't really have friends that do that anyway. But my lovely lady friend and I did go to a nice concert last evening that was somewhat sultry. Some of the songs were sultry because it was sultry jazz. And it was my lovely lady friend Matt and Steph. And Matt was there doing a great job performing with his jazz band at Jupiter in Berkeley last evening. It was packed. It was a beautiful summer evening. Not too hot. In fact, it was kind of cool. And they played under a redwood tree because Berkeley's got lots and lots of redwood trees, as does a lot of the Bay Area. So that picture, though, that will be in a future podcast, I bet. There is a friend of mine, though, that I guess he's a nice guy, but he does occasionally say a thing or two that gets under my skin, on my nerves, I think is the expression I'm looking for. And I guess some of it is, he likes to take shots at my podcast and say, oh, how many people do you have listening now? What, one? Maybe Democrats should subsidize you because that's what the Democrat candidates did apparently in that debate the other night. We're talking all about subsidizing this group that needs it and that group that needs it and this poor group of Mike's Daily Podcast listeners, of which there are only 2. So Mike's Daily Podcast needs some subsidy. He was making some kind of joke like that. And I was like, He always says something like that I'm like laughing and then going, wait, what? You just took a pot shot at me. Look who's out here. Hi, Ma. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How's y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
Mock humor is great, and you can use it sometimes to disguise a little jibber-jab in the jab.
That's right, a little jib-jab. A little jib-jab has a little jab. Jib.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Look who else is here.
Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I was in Hercules last night, and there are some really cute houses in Hercules and some nice views. And it was actually a very nice trip. Took Basil the Boxer, went there with my lovely lady friend. And I just, all there really is nothing. There's some nice views of the San Pablo Bay, and you've got some cute looking houses, and that's about it. There was this restaurant called Layla that we were about to eat at, but they had a dog in a crate out front that was barking like crazy. And since we were going to have to leave Basil in the car, I was thinking, And but the view from there was just awesome. So lots of fun. Hey, that's all. I guess that's pretty much at the end of the show. Did you listen, by the way, to my radio show this morning? Call me at 3 + 3 = 6 Daily. Let me know what you thought of the morning radio thing that I did on the music station. It's a huge mix, a huge swath of music. Why don't any radio station say, it's a huge swath of music? 102.6. That's not really a frequency. I just am looking at the time. And that's pretty much the end of the show. So, was it a good idea for Trump to meet with Kim Jong-un today at the DMZ? It's interesting that, people are going to complain, say, oh, how dare he meet with that dictator, that person that kills people. But then others will say, well, he's, Nixon went to China. Trump has gone to he didn't go actually to the capital of North Korea. Was that Pyongyang? He went to the DMZ. So anywho, I'm not going to argue either way. I'm not going to be political, but that's what happened. That's the big news. And I guess people like disruption and to be disruptors and to hopefully break down barriers. The barriers that you put around you, I'm hoping, get torn down so that you can enjoy this life. Okay, that's pretty much it. Next show, it's going to be Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. I do hope I can bring you a show this week. I'm thinking probably the 4th of July. I got invited for the first time to a wonderful 4th of July party for the very, very first time. Oh, yeah, I've been invited to 4th of July parties. I went to one year that had way too many people, and then we had to walk 2 miles to get to the place where there were fireworks. And then I had to worry the whole time that my dog was going out of his nut because of the freaking explosions. This year, I'm taking my dog with me to the party I'm going to. Which, by the way, if you are throwing a 4th of July party, invite the people's dogs to come with. Don't make it so that people have to leave their dogs at home. Because that's where you can lock them up in a bedroom and play noise-canceling sounds, whatever. That ain't going to happen. It's not good. The dog needs to be with you. The dog needs to be comforted by you. So when someone throws a party, they should, if they're inviting their friends, if their friends have dogs, they should just automatically invite the dogs. Oh, Mike, you're nuts. You're out of your gourd. You're out of your nut. casings. But that's the truth. Otherwise, the dogs are being left alone, and there can be all kinds of calamity that can happen. Dogs don't like those big booms. It freaks them out. So, just tell that to your friends that invite you to parties. I'm taking my dog with me. That's what I said to my friends that invited me to their party. I said, I'm taking Basil with me. And they're like, that makes sense. So there you go. All right. I'm a disruptor. I'm a disruptor. I'm not Beyonce. Next show, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley. Hope to bring you a new show very soon. If I don't hold it against me. I try to make this a daily podcast. At some point in my life, it will be daily again. It was daily for a little while. It shall be daily again. So I'm not going to change the name of the podcast to Mike's Hardly Strictly Daily Podcast or Mike's Semi-Daily Podcast. Ain't going to happen. Oh, Jack London Square. That's right. I was there as I wrap up the show on Wednesday for a party at a Thai restaurant that had entirely too many rules. The bill came. We all whipped out our credit cards. Oh, we can only take one. We wanted to, a couple of the people got there early before any of the other ones, and so they wanted to sit down. Oh, we can only sit down when everybody from the party's here. What kind of ridiculous... You know what? Those kind of restaurants with rules like that, bye-bye. You don't take credit cards? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is me saying bye-bye. Okay, thanks for listening to the show. Bye-bye.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.